What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So today we're here to talk about the Kizuna clash versus Doflamingo, and there are three different variations, of course: strength, dex, and quick. So you want to be building teams obviously around those types of colors, and we're going to go from the start to finish, level 1 to level 3, give you guys a rundown on each of these boss fights, and free-to-play teams, and also my own personal teams that I will be planning to use in the Kizuna clash, which actually starts tomorrow, which is why I wanted to get this video out for you guys, so you guys know what's happening and how to prepare for it. So first of which, we have to start with the first boss. So this is the dex variation, level 1 dex variation. Now, for this particular team, you want to be building with driven, cerebral, and free spirit characters. By the way, this is from Gamewith, which is a translation from Japanese, so obviously some of the translations are going to be a little bit weird, but I can let you know what's going on. As I said, driven, cerebral, and free spirit. Those are the characters that will receive the 15 turns of cooldown on stage 1. So predominantly, it's a dex team, right? Or the boss is dex. So build a strength team that is driven, cerebral, free spirit, okay? Moving on to the second floor, we have Mihawk, who is a Psy boss right here. Zoom out a little bit. Mihawk is a Psy boss, and you can see he has a barrier, a 12 hit barrier for 4 turns, and he gives you badly matching slots, and he locks them for 1 turn. So yeah, barrier, unfavorable slot conversion, and 1 turn of slot fix. Now, he does have 2.5 million health, which is actually a lot for a mini boss on a Kizuna clash. And turn 1, if you don't kill him, he gives himself 3 turns of damage reduction, which is the rainbow shield. And obviously, if you don't kill him on turn 3, he's going to give you special reverse. So you want to kill him before the 3rd turn begins. Very important that you do that. So ideally, kill him in 1 turn, then you don't have to deal with this at all. But then once you do that, you move on to the final stage against Doflamingo, who is a dex character. And you can see straight away, he's got 3 types of immunity. You got delay, all poison immunity, and also defense down immunity. You get 6 turns of attack down, normal attacks only, and then also he does something else, I think. Yeah, so he special seals your characters in the top row and the bottom row for 4 turns. 4 turn special bind, 6 turns of attack down, normal attacks only, defense down immunity, poison immunity, delay immunity, and after level 31, he special reverses your entire team by 1 turn. Pretty annoying, and if you do store 1 turn to get your special back, he special limits you for 3 turns, which is pretty bad. He does have an interrupt, any health cut, he just fully heals, so nothing really too crazy. There's no like revive mechanics in this Kizuna, which is good. I hate the revive Kizunas. But yeah, that's the quick rundown of this particular boss in the Kizuna clash, okay? So let's go ahead and run into the team composition that I have for you guys here today. So the way that this team is able to perform through this particular fight, we're using Treasure Map Ace as our captain. Now, when you use Ace as a captain, you need to have a strength, a Psy, and a quick character on your team. So our Psy character is Luffy Taro, and our quick character is this free-to-play Moria, and this is the free-to-play team composition, obviously. Our friend captain is going to be versus Ace, because it means once we reach those thresholds of 31 and above, his captain effect outright resists the special reverse. So that makes a pretty big difference, actually. Now moving on though, we can have a look at the at stage 2. So obviously you get hit with the combo barrier and stuff, which is kind of annoying, but we can just attack through it. It's not really going to be that big of a deal. But on the final boss stage, we have to deal with obviously Doflamingo. Doflamingo, of course, he special binds the top and bottom rows, so we can go ahead and use Luffy Taro to get rid of those, as well as giving our crew an attack boost, which is great. The attack down is going to be the biggest issue, so we are using 2 characters to get around that. We also have this Jinbei, who gives us the ability to remove attack down, and he also gives a color affinity boost if our character is a strength unit, so our strength units get color affinity. And the other character to remove attack down is also this Moria, but looking at things, this Kawamatsu also removes the attack down, so realistically you don't actually need this Moria, but you do need a quick unit on your team in order to launch Ace's captain effect. You don't have to use Ace as a captain, but he's a pretty reasonable captain at that, so you could use Ace's special on stage 2, on the stage prior, to get a full board of strength slots. And if you kill that that Mihawk when you move on to the next stage, because this Ace already has a strength slot, when you use the special of this Ace, you'll get chain boundary effect as well, so you get an orb boost, chain boundary, attack boost, and color affinity with this team composition. So there are definitely replaceable units, but in terms of free to play, it's pretty good. So if you guys did see my actual pull video that I did to get the brand new Crocodile, I'm definitely going to be using him, of course, because he gives me the ticket boosts. But let's have a look at this team that I'll be using here. So obviously double Crocodile. In this Kizuna clash, he will get a boosted captain effect. So in this Kizuna, he's going to be a 5 times captain to Driven and Cerebral, and then also 20% damage reduction, 1.25 health. New follower coming in, thank you very much for that. But we don't actually need like this bit. It's just the fact that it's a 5 times captain. Obviously we should be using that, plus the fact that he's going to be a ticket booster. We're using this Jinbei, of course, the new free-to-play Jinbei, which should currently be available on Extra Island. His special ability is great because he does like a lot of utility for us. He gets around a lot of different mechanics, which is pretty cool. But then we'll talk about the other units when we get to it, okay? So in terms of stage 2, we get here with the badly matching slots and the combo hit barrier. I haven't got anything planned for it. I'm just going to use a Crocodile special, which will give me color affinity, and with these characters being super effective, that should give me enough damage to kill him despite the barrier being there, and that's my plan moving forward. After that though, on the final boss stage, the special bind, this Jinbei, this free-to-play Jinbei can get rid of that. The attack down Crocodile special gets rid of that, and then the special reverse, when we eventually get to that, the Weevil special is great. He reduces the cooldowns of our strength, dex, and quick characters by 1. He resists it with his Sailor effect. He changes badly matching slots into matching, which we'll have from stage 2 because they are locked if we kill him in 1 turn. Move into this stage, changes those into matching. We also have the Kaido, who's going to be our crew's attack booster. He boosts the attack of strength, dex, and int by 2.25, and with this team, like, it actually works quite well. And then just NLS is kind of like as a final unit. I don't really know who I'd want to put on this team as a replacement, but he's just a chain booster. He gives us a 0.7 chain boost if our captain is Driven, which Crocodile obviously is, and Shark Superb is definitely going to be the ship of choice because our captain is strength, dex, or quick. So it works very, very well. Okay, let's move on to the second boss now, which is the strength variation. Now for this particular team, you want to be bringing strength, dex, and quick characters. Those characters will receive cooldown because it is a strength boss. Predominantly just a blue team is going to be the best way forward. Moving though to the second floor, we have Boa Hancock, who you can see has 4 turns of Rainbow Shield, and that's it. That's all she actually has, which is good. 2.5 million HP, 4-turn Rainbow Shield, and after turn 1, if you don't kill her, she gives you like 3 turns of your type slots counted as badly matching, so you don't want that. Definitely kill her in 1 turn if possible. Moving on though to the final stage against Doflamingo, obviously a strength unit, and very similar to the previous boss, he has a delay, a poison immunity, and also defense down immunity, and he also gives himself an increased defense buff as well. Normal attacks only for 98 turns, and he gives us a full board of block orbs. Pretty annoying actually. But then after level 32, our top row and bottom row get binded for 8 turns. So this means you want a character in your middle row that can get rid of up to 5 turns of bind, or you have support effects that can help you get rid of that. There's a couple of different avenues you could go down to help you get rid of that bind once you reach level 32. After turn 1, he does stun you, so your middle row will be stunned, so you have to take a hit in order for that to get removed, which is annoying. And then obviously he does damage immunity below 20%, and he has the same sort of interrupt where if you do a health cut, he's going to fully recover. So looking at a free-to-play team that gets around this particular boss, this is what I'll be planning to use for free-to-play. Now with this team here, the way that we're kind of getting through it is the damage reduction on stage 2 against Boa Hancock. We can just use the Queen special. Queen's a great captain, by the way, because he's a 3.75 times quick captain, with a friend captain of versus Akainu being a 5 times boost to Driven and Powerhouse. So building a team around those characters is great. But his special just removes 5 turns of Rainbow Shield, and he does damage on top of that, which is pretty good. Moving on to the final stage though, getting rid of the enemy's increased defense. Now we don't have characters that do like removing those debuffs by 5 turns. We actually only have characters that remove it by 4 turns. Like this character here, this Oars removes 4 turns of blue shield, and this Gyukimaru removes 4 turns of bind. So the way that I'm kind of planning this team is like once you do reach that threshold where you need to remove the bind, you just want to go ahead and stall a turn. So after you stall a turn, Akainu is going to inflict the enemy with the ignition. And then obviously you're going to be inflicted with the stun. Your middle row will be stunned. So after that, you can use the Gyukimaru turn 1. That means you only need to stall 1 turn for your bind. After you're stunned, these top and bottom row characters will be unbinded. And you can go ahead and use the Orochi special, which is a 2 times attack boost to Driven, Cerebral, and Powerhouse. But the big thing is that he actually goes ahead and reduces your crew's health by 80%, which can get rid of the stun on your middle row. You've got Bullet for your color affinity, and then you've got Chain and also Orbs with your Akainu. So you got Chain, Orbs, Affinity, and an attack boost for your crew. and you know, depending on the situation, you're probably not going to be at a situation where you're able to use the versus effect, but hypothetically, if that is possible, you can get that active as well, but a little bit difficult in order to get that to activate. But still, a pretty solid team, and of course, there's no map effect to show how much damage the team actually does, but it does a lot of damage to Doflamingo. Alright, so this is the team that I have planned for beating the dex variation of the strength variation, should I say, the strength variation of this event. So we're going to be using the Vivi Rebecca and Shuhoshi Mancheri V2. The combination here is really, really good, but speaking of stage 2 against Boa Hancock with the 4 turns of Rainbow Shield, we're going to use Sengoku to get rid of that. He's a boosted unit too, which is very, very good. He removes that Rainbow Shield for us, which is awesome, and then we can use a Croc special to kill. No problems there. Doflamingo, though, on the final stage, he will go ahead and have the defense up, which is pretty annoying to deal with, but Crocodile can help you remove that increased defense, which is great. The full board of block orbs is also kind of an annoyance, but Jinbei gets rid of that. And the bind to the top and bottom rows, we can use the switch effect of Vivi and Rebecca to go ahead and remove their special bind and also give us the increased chain buff, which is so, so good. Then we can use their special to give our cerebral characters a 2x attack and a 2x orb boost, which all of the characters on this team are cerebral. And then we have the Shirahoshi and Mancheri character, which will go ahead and give us the chain boost. So we have a color affinity, attack, orbs, and chain, and then also the chain multiplicator boost on top of that as well. So this team is going to do a lot of damage. Of course, the no map effect to see the boosted stats and everything, but still pretty solid team for getting through the fight. May have to change it as time goes on, but I'm pretty comfortable with this one. And now we can take a look at the final variation, which is versus the Quick Boss. Yeah, the Quick Boss now. So with this one, you want to build a team of Dex, Psi, and Int characters. Those characters get the -15 cooldown. Second floor against Moria. He is a Dex character, and he has 2.5 million health, and he just despairs you for 4 turns, and that's all he does. But after turn 1, he blinds you for 3 turns, and again, special reverse after turn 3. And the final boss, Doflamingo here, quick unit, he has damage threshold for 4 turns. He also has normal attacks only, so nothing really too crazy there, but he will also go ahead and inflict despair to your crew for 8 turns of despair. So you want to be having some sort of way to get around that. So there's despair on this stage, and there's despair on the previous stage as well. Despair is a big thing for this particular boss fight. And then also, after level 30, inflicts paralysis. 5 turns of paralysis after level 30. So yeah, paralysis, despair, and damage threshold are what you will have to be dealing with Doflamingo. And again, he has the interrupt of if you do a health cut, he's going to fully heal himself. Again, no real crazy interrupts here, and he doesn't do anything after revive or anything, so pretty straightforward, honestly. Let's have a look at the free-to-play team that I have suggested here, and I'm using Roger as the friend captain. That's what I would suggest if you're like running raw free-to-play characters, no summonable units at all. Roger just makes it easy because he outright resists the despair that you're going to get inflicted, makes it very, very easy. And then in terms of the free-to-play captain, we can just go ahead and use this brand new Treasure Map Luffy and Ace that just came out. Really solid captain actually for free spirit characters, allowing them to get a 4 times boost if you have a matching slot, and it's a 3 times boost otherwise. Pretty good actually, because these are all free spirit characters on this team, and you're able to get your full board of matching slots because this is an Ace character which procs the super type of Roger, which is so, so good. But dealing with the stage 2 against Moria, all he does is despair, so you can just kill him, basically. I mean, I would also suggest using the Sobermask special, which gives you adjacent slots matching, a 0.5 chain boost, and then also if you hit 3 perfects, you get a 1.1 chain boost in the next turn. So it's a huge amount of damage you can get with this free-to-play unit. It can give you a good chain boost. Now, the final stage against Doflamingo, he despairs you again, so Roger gets rid of that. For the damage threshold, we can use Bonnie to get rid of that, and then for the paralysis, we have this other Kizuna unit that came out last month, which is the Nami and Orobi, which can get rid of the paralysis by 6 turns, and also give us an orb boost. So we have Hiyori as well, just kind of as a filler unit. You can use Hiyori on like the stage prior on stage 2 to give you a bit of extra damage to kill Moria. Not really too important, but with this team, we have a 3 times attack boost, we have our 1.75 color affinity, the 1.1 chain boost, and also the 2 times orb boost with Nami and Robin. So this is a really good amount of damage that we can get. Again, we can't see the full boosted effects. Well, actually, technically, we probably could, actually. Let's go ahead and apply the Shark Ship, because that's definitely what you should be using if you're using this team. And then we're going to have the Roger special to get the 3 times attack boost. We have Luffy and Ace for color affinity. We have Nami, Robin for orb boost. Sobermask for the chain boost. So 37 million damage in terms of raw free to play is actually not terrible. So this will get you over that threshold of reaching level 30, I believe, which means you will have to deal with that actual paralysis. So there we go. That's a pretty decent free to play team that gets the job done versus Doflamingo. So now having a look at my personal teams for this upcoming treasure map, here we have once again using 2 crocodiles, but I'm using Kid as my captain because there's no like guaranteed way for me to get matching slots. So in order to do that, we're just going to use Kid's super type and his special ability to give us a full board of super bomb slots and a 2.5 dex attack boost. We have the crocodiles, of course. We can use one on the stage prior, one on the final stage, of course. We get color affinity because of that. All of these characters are driven and cerebral. Aside from lore, we'll talk about lore in just a moment. We've got Jinbei here because he helps us get around the threshold. We've got the Nami Robin to get rid of the paralysis, and there are 2.5 orb boost for our dex characters. Lore is kind of like a filler unit because I did need a unit that would proc the super type of Kid, and this lore is really good because he enables us to get the chain boundary effect, which gives us a really good amount of additional damage, and plus like the first character to attack in the chain isn't really going to be hitting too hard anyway, so I felt like it was a pretty reasonable choice to have lore as our final unit here. Remember, Dex, Sight, and its characters will receive the cooldown, so all the characters will get that cooldown here, and this should be able to get through this boss fight in a pretty easy, honestly. It should last us for a really long time, having such a high attack, high orb boost, good affinity, and a chain boundary on top of it. Not really too phased about this one at all. So that is going to wrap up this video today. Thank you so much for watching this one, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.